Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my beautiful desk. JayJen. My name is Alan, this is my life in Taiwan, and I'm absolutely over the moon that you have chosen to click on this video and spend a few minutes of your day with me here in the beautiful surroundings of my adoptive home country of Taiwan. And quickly, let me say a big thanks to video partner Lingoda, who are going to offer all of my viewers a 100% cashback deal on their English language summer sprint, which is about to start very soon. But enough of that for now, let's get into today's video topic and start talking about some of the things that I feel, even after 12 years of living here, I do not, cannot, and will not ever understand about life here, and also give you some fun examples that I or some of my friends have experienced. And remember, as always with my videos, this is my opinion based on experience, and nothing I say is intended to upset anyone or cause any offense. I'm just trying to allow the Taiwanese viewers to have a little glimpse into the way some of us aliens in this country view certain things. So when I asked my foreign Instagram followers if they had any examples, I got many responses, some of which mentioned several superstitions or religious acts, but I feel that personally I can't include these in this video because I kind of do understand that. Every country and religion has their own beliefs and religious practices. Therefore, although some foreigners believe the burning of ghost money or offering snacks to ancestors may seem a little bit confusing, we need to understand that these activities provide a comfort and peaceful feeling to a family or an individual, and just because we don't do it or we disagree with the effectiveness of it doesn't necessarily mean that we shouldn't understand it. After all, I attended a school where we magically turned wafers and wine into the flesh and blood of a guy who lived 2,000 years ago, and then we eat him. So who are we to judge? But still, on a similar topic to the religious practices, is the way that a lot of Taiwanese people take part in certain activities or do things a certain way just because that's the way it's always been done. And several people replied to my Instagram story with examples of this, but I guess one of the more bemusing examples of these would be the way that many people here will insist that if you're sick, you mustn't eat ice cream or drink cold drinks, just because that's what they've been told by elders without any scientific backup. Now, I'm not a doctor, but just a little bit of research online shows that there is absolutely no correlation between the drinking of cold drinks and being sick. And some sources even state that cold drinks can help with a fever. But because of the ancestor worship culture here, nobody questions these things that have been told to them by their parents, and they just follow these ways without questioning it, which means that every time I have just a little bit of a cold and drink iced water in school, it drives the kids absolutely crazy and they think I'm a total idiot, hell-bent on making myself more sick. There are countless other examples of this that I won't list here, one of which many foreigners here call the Meo Banfa culture, where a Taiwanese friend will tell you something can't be done because number one, they don't know how, or number two, it's just never been done that way before, so why should we try a new way? But if you can think of any examples of things that are done a certain way here, just because that's the way they've always been done, then please add it to the comment section and see if anybody else agrees with you.
So, before Alan gets back, don't forget to subscribe to Wes Davies at...
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Move on. Get out of here. This is my desk. Get out of here. Further. Away. So anyway, on to the next thing I feel I will never really understand, and that is all about face, or keeping face here in Taiwan. This is an extremely important part of most Asian cultures that we just don't really share in the West. Yes, of course, we get embarrassed and don't really enjoy it when we are found to have made a mistake, but most of the time we can either laugh it off or apologize and move on with our day. No big deal. But here in Taiwan, if someone makes an obvious mistake, they will either try their best to hide it or in some cases just point blank deny it. And yes, I do understand that it's buried deep within culture and certainly not something that will change or is wrong in any way. But the thing I don't understand is how even close friends will do the same thing. And to be honest, it's kind of hurtful to me when a close friend makes an obvious mistake or does something to upset me, and then they point blank deny it or try to turn it around on me. This creates a kind of distance or lack of friendship One example of which is a foreign friend recently told me that he was being driven somewhere by his Taiwanese friend, and as she was driving, she dozed off and fell asleep at the wheel for a second. He pointed this out and even teased her a little bit about how she almost killed them. But rather than just apologize and move on, she got super defensive, claiming first of all that she hadn't fallen asleep, and then saying that as it was only for a second, that it didn't really matter. All, of course, to save her face. Possibly at the expense of the friendship and showing how she values her face more than she values that particular friendship. So, on to the elephant in the room, and the thing that many people often criticize me for not understanding here in Taiwan, and that's the beautiful language of Mandarin. Yes, after 12 years of being here, I am far from fluent, and although I often meet people in the street and can have small conversations, these people will often congratulate me on my great Chinese, and of course I know enough to have a conversation with a stranger about weather, food, or personal life, but I cannot by any means express my emotions or feelings using the language, and this is all down to one thing: I am absolutely tone deaf. Yes, I can hear that ma and ma are different, but can I tell you which one is third tone and which one is first tone? Absolutely not. Can I hear the difference between 睡觉 and 水饺? Well, yes, of course, but can I tell you which one is dumplings and which one is sleep? No, of course not. I have tried and tried to understand these tones and use them as well as I can, but ultimately I just can't do it. And speaking from my heart, I hate that it seems I let down the people of Taiwan when I speak out and am misunderstood, so it's often easier just either to not try or just keep conversations in Mandarin as simple as possible. So that brings me to today's video partner, online language school Lingoda, who once again have partnered up with me on this video in order to promote their 3-month Super Sprint event, which is beginning soon on July 1st. It's an event that I have happily promoted several times on this channel before, because I absolutely believe that not only is it the best way to improve your English with their certified native speaking English teachers, if you sign up for the Super Sprint event using the link in the description below and complete a class every single day, then you will be entitled to a full 100% refund of any monies paid. Or even if you want to give yourself a little bit less pressure and only complete 15 classes per month, then you'll still be able to get 50% cash back if you choose the Sprint option. As I mentioned, the Sprint begins on July 1st, and you need to sign up before June 15th in order to secure a spot on this highly sought after course, as places are limited. As we all know, this summer is probably going to be a little bit different to before, and will give more and more people extra time to stay at home, doing things to improve themselves, such as online learning through companies such as Lingoda. Therefore, I imagine this sprint is going to be a super popular one, and I'd hate for you to miss out. They have courses in English, business English, German, French, and Spanish. Unfortunately for me, no Mandarin, but one thing that my experience as a teacher has shown me is that when people learn intensively and with dedication, then improvements can be made in relatively short time frames. Therefore, a 3-month daily course with native speaking teachers offering classes that you can attend anytime, day or night, such as Lingoda's, then for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. Go sign up at the link in the description and use my code to immediately get 10 euros off the deposit. I think that's pretty much all I want to say about Lingoda for now. So back to another thing that I will never understand about Taiwanese culture, and that has to be the indirect nature with which people will tell you certain things. And I say certain things because in other instances, they can be incredibly direct, especially when it comes to telling me how much weight I've put on over the past few years. But the indirectness usually comes when they want something from you, or they want you to do a particular task at work. But one thing I just can't understand is how it's better for them to maybe suggest that I stay an extra half an hour after I've finished teaching class in order to maybe, if I want to, would I like to talk to the parents and communicate a bit with the kids in reception in front of their parents, when in fact what they're really telling me is the boss has told me to tell you, you must stay behind for 30 minutes after work. Or another example I can think of is when my Taiwanese friends will suggest to me that maybe I should save more money for my future and not spend it so easily, when in fact it's not a suggestion at all. What they're really thinking is, how the hell can foreigners live like this, spending their money so frivolously, enjoying their money without saving and preparing for the future? That's just a couple of examples from my life, but when chatting to other foreigners, the indirect nature of the way Taiwanese people talk to us and suggest things to us is definitely something that gets under the skin of some of my other friends. Because in our culture, it's often much more efficient and waste less time if you just get straight to the point and tell people exactly what you want from them or exactly what you think of them. But as always, I'd love to get the opinion of my viewers on this point, and of course the others that I've mentioned throughout the video. If you agree with me, disagree with me, whatever you've got to say from whatever point of view, please let me know in the comments down below. But I think that's pretty much it. As for now, and as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time in My Life in Taiwan. Peace!